I've been on cruises where the geologists are clapping because of all the rocks they've pulled up in dredges, right? And so, the science users are just a different part of what we do, but it's really gratifying to see them get excited, get their samples, and take them away. And, unfortunately for them, they're staring at a microscope for the next 8 hours. I really like that part where they are interacting with us a lot more for their samples and kind of seeing that in real time.
So I have a big sample in front of me, right? I have my microscope, which is tied down to the ship, to the table in our research lab. And I'm taking small samples of this much bigger sample that's been pulled up and combing through that and just sort of exploring all of the different organisms that are in there, looking especially for our bathies, which is what we called them on the ship, which are those little pink mussels. After that, you just sort, 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 sort. It's like every single sample from every single dive site. We get to be explorers in a way that people don't think we can be in this world anymore, I think. And there's a lot more diversity in life that's smaller than people expect. It's kind of like a treasure hunt. It's fun.
I think for sure, for me, the most memorable moment was being on a dive in the sub, because I mean that's something I never even dared to dream of, that I would ever get the chance to be in a submarine. And just going down through the dark and then suddenly seeing the sea floor was absolutely mind blowing. And I absolutely love seeing just these communities of tube worms and mussels and corals and all that together. I think that in its kind of unity is for me the most beautiful part.
It was so surreal going down on the dive in Alvin. I mean, I have never experienced darkness like that, which was crazy. And I felt like a little kid, like just looking out the window, so excited to see everything. Coming up, I got to get out of Alvin and just see, I think, the most beautiful sunset that I have ever seen. Especially in the second leg of the cruise, we did a lot of bonding with the Alvin engineers. And we got along really well, and we, got all dressed up for Halloween and wanted to prank each other. And they would come into the lab and want to learn about the science. It was really cool to get to like have those interactions, that dynamic with a completely different side of science that I hadn't been a part of before, and sort of learn about how they functioned as a group and their jobs. It was really a really special experience.
I think a cruise is always a fantastic opportunity to really get to know others and their disciplines, and especially then using these different experiences, this different knowledge to work together, not only regarding other scientists but also the crew. And I always felt that on the ship there was a great communication between scientists and crew as well, and they sometimes came by the lab and had a look into our microscopes, which was super fun.
I think it was such an eye-opening experience to see not only what life could be like as marine biologists, but other career paths that revolve around the ocean. It was just so cool to see all these different paths that not only the science team had taken to get there, but also everyone else on that boat, and we all ended up there. So I think it was eye-opening as far as taking the pressure off, like realizing there wasn't just one way to be out on the ocean and to be working in this field that we all love. There was so many ways to get there. You do not have to follow this specific set of steps that you took at the exact right time to get there, to love the ocean, to be on the ocean, and to make it your life.
if you stop dreaming, the dreams will never happen, right? So I would just say to young people, keep the faith and fight. If you want to be an engineer diving to the bottom of the ocean, believe it can happen, because it can. It only won't if you stop believing. If you want to be a scientist that's studying whatever, it will happen if you believe. And you will find your way to the people who will support you and help you. And you can help change the momentum